What's good, Faith family? It is your girl LA and Miss Cavatica, and we are rolling. This week adventure is taking us out to Cartridge, Texas for a 400-mile round trip ride to the last boundary marker for the Republic of Texas. Kickstands up was 8:30 a.m. and the forecast, y'all, it was chilly. That's why your girl is rocking her thick leather. Plus, on top of that, when we're getting ready to do long rides like this and we're getting ready to do some interstate riding, I want to have something that has just a little bit more protection for my upper body. So that's why your girl is rocking her leather. But listen, it was chilly, all right? And I think the high was, I want to say maybe 58, something like that. But you guys know when you're on a bike, it feels colder if it's cold. But anyway, I digress. So this particular ride, or shall I say this group ride that we're on, is taking us out to the last remaining boundary marker for the Republic of Texas. As promised, I want to share my Texas with you guys. So this is a part of my Texas series where, you know, Des and I are going to venture out and start doing some riding throughout the state of Texas. You know, I heard it, a lady once told me that you could live your entire life in the state of Texas and not see all that it has to offer, because Texas is huge, people. It's a big state, okay? And anytime we're doing any rides, especially vacation rides out of the state of Texas, it takes a minute to get out of Texas because it's so big. And so this year, Des and I have a lot of things on our calendar, family-wise, that's scheduled. And so we decided that, you know what, we're going to stay closer to home this year and you know, start touring Texas. And so this particular group ride was out to Cartridge, Texas to explore, or shall I say, to see this last remaining boundary marker called the Republic of Texas. But you know what? Before we can even get there, we got to get into this ride, y'all. So Faith family, here we are getting underway on this ride and headed towards, I guess you could say it was the boundary marker, or the boundary right on the edge of Louisiana and Texas is where we were headed. And it was going to be a long day. It was a long day. We left in the morning and we didn't get home till that night. But I was here for it and I was enjoying it. I was the only woman on this ride. Yes, your girl rocked it on her Can-Am Spider, hanging out with these hogs. But you know what? Hey, I have earned my right to do so, okay? I learned my bike. I understand how my bike and I ride. I understand the mechanics of it. I understand how she feels when we are rocking and rolling, ticking and talking. And because of all of that, you know, I feel comfortable. I'm still a work in progress. I am still learning and growing as a spider rider. Every time you ride these bikes, there is something new to learn. And so I am growing in all of that. But you know what? If you had asked me maybe, I want to say maybe 10 years ago, would I be out on a bike riding on the open road like this behind some motorcycle riders? I would have told you, hockey puck, no. Okay? Heck no. No, I would not be doing this. Are you crazy? No, I love life too much. But listen, just keep living, as my grandmother would say. Just keep waking up in the morning and washing your face, as my father-in-law would say. You will realize that there are some things in life you just want to experience. And so, you know, I am super stoked that I have chosen to ride my ride, which is a Can-Am Spider. And this is something that my husband and I can do together. And I love that. And so, yes, I was the only woman on this ride with all of these hog riders. But you know what? They will tell you they wish some of their wives were. And, you know, some of the wives do ride Can-Am Spiders. But this particular day, I don't know where my girls were. You know, where my girls at? They was nowhere to be found. But I know they probably were busy. But look, I represented for them. So, we got to this point where we're getting ready to gas up. And that's another thing I'm learning about these bikes, the Can-Am Spyders, is that, some rides, you have to ride them on eco, depending on where you are, especially when I show you guys the ride that we did to Big Bend, down in, the canyon and all of that desert land that we were riding in. You really want to make sure you got your bike in eco mode so you're not burning through gas, because if there's no gas stations around, that's the last thing you want to do is run out of gas in a canyon, okay? And so, like I said, I am learning. This is a work in progress, and the more I ride my bike out of the state of Texas on longer rides, I understand what I need to do as a rider that rides a Can-Am Spyder. And that's, having to put my bike in eco mode sometimes depending on where we're riding. And so this particular ride that we did, which is a round trip 400 mile, your girl didn't put her bike in eco mode because I was riding with some heavy hitters. And these jokers, I don't think we did under 75, 80 on some spots. I look down at my speedometer and I'm like 95, 85, 95. I mean, they rock and roll, okay? And so, but again, I've earned my right to ride with these fellas because they understand that they were there for me. They were there with me when I first started riding my bike. And so they've seen the growth and they trust my ability as a Can-Am Spyder rider, and they don't give me any mess about riding my three wheels with them. So there's that. But anyway, this was a beautiful day to ride. The weather was really, really nice, and the scenery was, it was a bonus. You just can't beat riding, the open road here in Texas, especially because, I have, stalked other Can-Am Spyder riders where they live, and they have some beautiful places to ride, and I always admired that. You look at other people's footage and you look at their videos and their photos, and you're like, dang, look where they're living, look where they're riding, and you think, well, damn, does Texas have something like that? And we do. We just got to get out and find it and go see it. And so that's what Des and I have decided to do this year, is to explore more of Texas because, we do have some beautiful places to ride. And so that's what this particular series is going to be about this year, My Texas, which is, showing you guys some really cool places that we have here in Texas to ride, as well as some little beautiful Mayberry towns. But anyway, you know what? I think I need to hear a little music. So let's get into this ride a little more.
Many times I've fallen, you were there to pick me up. Or when you should have let me thirst, you always filled my cup. Lord, you choose to bless me, and everything I do, teach me all your ways, oh God, so I can bless you too. Make me more like you, do the things you do. Give me eyes of grace, oh, all my sins erase. Make me more like you, let my heart be true. Take me to that place, oh, I wanna see your face. Make me more like you. Will I ever run, or will I always crawl? Trials they may come my way, got to give my all. No time for looking round, 'cause heaven's just a breath away. I wanna live my life like you, that's why I pray to make me more like you.
Yes, Lord, give me eyes of grace where all of my sins are erased. Lord, make me more like you. Now, let's see if YouTube is going to flag this song, because it's your girl. I own it. Okay? Now, let's see how that's going to work out. And if they do, I'm going to have a problem. But anyway, if you guys want me singing in your ear or in your playlist while you are riding on the open road on your bike, you can look me up under the artist name LaShawn Chaney and download some of those tunes. But in the meantime, in between time, here we are riding through, as I was telling you guys, these little beautiful Mayberry towns. Here in Texas, we have just some beautiful, I don't know what to call them other than little bitty Mayberry towns. And every time we pass through one, I'm always curious as to, is it a town full of retired people? What do they do in these little bitty Mayberry towns? Because there's no big conglomerate type businesses in the area. Are they all just retirement people living in these areas? What do they do? Because I want to be able to do it too. I would love to live in a little bitty Mayberry town where everybody knows your name, and I can ride my little truck up to town and get all my supplies and go back out to my neck of the woods. But that is not why we are on this ride. We are headed to the last boundary marker here in the state of Texas. But before we can get to it, we decided to grab a bite to eat and have some lunch. So we are stopping for a bite to eat at Big Zach's. And just like that, the day had heated up and your girl had to come up out of that leather and do a quick change into this lightweight flannel riding jacket. Thank God that I brought it with me, because again, y'all, we live in Texas. And like I said, we left out that morning and it was chilly. It was cold. Wearing leather was a good idea. But then, like Texas, the evening came and it started heating up and I had to come up out of that leather. But we really weren't that far away from our destination. I think maybe 10-15 minutes away. And so here we are pulling into the spot, the last remaining boundary marker for the Republic of Texas, the only international boundary that exists within the continental United States. Now, a little history about this beautiful landmark. The International Boundary Marker, also known as the Republic of Texas Granite Marker, is a boundary marker located on the Louisiana-Texas border near the junction of Texas FM 31 and Louisiana Highway 765. And by the way, that highway is absolutely gorgeous to ride on. It's southeast of Deadwood, Texas. This marker was created in 1840 and placed in 1841 to mark the international border between the United States and the Republic of Texas. The survey which established this border lasted from May 1840 to June 1841. This boundary marker is the only marker remaining from the Texas Border Survey and is one of the only two international boundary markers located entirely within the United States. The only other marker that they have is located near Mobile, Alabama, and the name of that particular marker is called Ellicott's Stone. And apparently it is a hotspot for young adults who like to do scavenger hunts, because while we were all there gathered to take photos and everything and, kind of check out the marker, some young adults showed up and we found out that they were actually a part of a scavenger hunt. And so they were there to just go and figure out where whatever they were looking for was hiding so they can grab it and move on to the next scavenger hunt. But it was a beautiful day. We found the marker. It was absolutely wonderful, experiencing the history of Texas and understanding why things are the way they are, and seeing, this historical landmark, that is a part of the rich history of Texas. And there you have it, a journey to see the last remaining boundary marker of the Republic of Texas, the only international boundary marker that exists within the continental United States. My Texas. Listen, I wasn't born here, as you all may know from last week's series, Life Off the Bike, where we talked about forgiveness, where I shared that I'm from Detroit, Michigan. However, I got to Texas as fast as I could, y'all. Now, I'm excited to explore more of Texas and everything that it has to offer this year. Yes, vacation rides out of Texas can be exciting, thrilling, challenging, liberating, dare I say triumphant for a new rider just getting their legs under them. But riding in your own backyard can be just as rewarding, especially in a state as big as Texas. And there lies the message from this week's adventure. You don't need to travel the world to discover it. Sometimes you can discover the world right where you are. Exploring beautiful places around where you live can be so rewarding and a wonderful experience. But don't forget to admire the sunsets and appreciate the little things right in your own backyard as you ride the open road. And ask God to give you eyes of grace to look in love and experience and appreciate all the beautiful blessings that you have right in your own backyard and right out your own front door before the light dims in your eyes. Now, ride safe and stay in faith.